Hey guys, this is Tim from YourSix Studios. Today in this video we're going to completely reassemble our PlayStation 4 controller after spray painting the front and the back plate, and we're going to put everything back into the controller. So let's go ahead and start with the front plate and remove the back plate over there and put everything back together again. And I'm going to start with just the triangle, X, O, and square button, and it helps having another controller nearby just to kind of look at them, but the triangle does go on top. And if you do make a mistake, they kind of are labeled on the back per se with these little notches that are on the buttons, so it will be hard to accidentally misplace them because it's pretty much telling you where to put them. You just have to guide them into the correct slot. So let's go ahead and move that around in and put the X button. That one goes on the bottom, so if you can remember the order, that'll be great. So I get this one in and that goes in. Square button. Alright, so that's in. Now let's go ahead and take our plastic cover right here, and this one will have rounded edges unlike the D-pad one. So if you're looking at them, this one is rounded, and just go ahead and put this back over the buttons and just move it around, and it should fit over everything here. Good. Just give it a nice firm pat so it's fitting comfortably on the buttons, and that's in. Now let's go over to our D-pad, grab our D-pad, and then put the D-pad in. And then the same thing with the kind of rubber padding that goes on top. Just do a firm press down here and get everything on the edges here. Alright, it's feeling good. So I got that in, and that's good over there too. Now let's move over to our PlayStation button. Grab that from our pile, place that back in position. I think I just messed up there, and it may pop out a bunch on you. Okay, so I have it in. Then this is the rubber padding that we'll have to go over right here. So let's go ahead and put that back in. Alright, excellent. So that's on. Now let's grab our options and share button. And these will kind of be just like the face buttons. They will have little notches on the side, so if you accidentally put them in the wrong spot, it'll let you know right away because they won't fit all the way down. Alright, so that's sitting flat on that side. That one doesn't want to go down all the way, but okay, so that's in. Now here's the secret to this touchpad. You're going to want to go under the bar and just grasp it over. And make sure this cord is on top of the bar and not behind it. And that's the easiest way to do it. I think that's the way to do it, just in general. So that's in. And everything's in position. Now let's go ahead and grab our motherboard with the thumbsticks and feed it through the thumbstick holes. Okay, so thumbsticks are in. Controller is peeling a little bit. That's feeling good. And let's go ahead and reconnect this piece right here to the motherboard. Now let's go ahead and find that little screw and screw this back down. And where's my Stanley flathead here? Let's go ahead and screw it down. And make sure this is sitting pretty well, because otherwise this part right here won't sit flat, and you might have problems putting the controller back together again when you get the front plate and the back plate together. So just make sure this is sitting well right here, and it seems like it's on pretty well. Now let's take our black cover right here and line up the holes, and this should sit and snap in. And the next thing we can do is put the battery in, but I'm going to go ahead and put this little black part right here. It'll go on the upper right if this falls off. And this makes a clicking sound. It looks like this fell out too at some point. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the battery in last, just because I'll hit the PlayStation button a lot and it'll turn on my console. So I'll put the battery in last. But let's go ahead and take our R2 and L2 button and put those back in. So let's go grab those and take our spring. And this one is the R2 button. Now the secret to this is there's going to be a side on the R2 button where you can feed the spring in over the cylinder. So let's go ahead and do that now. And then take the spring and put it flat on the R2 button. So it's kind of looking like this. So one side's kind of in and the other side is kind of sticking up in an L shape. So let's hold it in this position and bring it over to our controller. And it helps to kind of put it down like this. And then line it up with the corresponding slots. And it'll snap in. So that's in. Snap in. Spring is in. Now let's do that again with the L2 button. So there's going to be a slot right here where we can slide it in. The other side you cannot. So let's put the spring over the cylinder. Push it down so one side is up like an L shape. And kind of hold it up in the L shape. And make sure it doesn't fall from that position. Lining it up with the notches. And the spring will go into this kind of long slot right here. And then once it's in, press down. Boom. So those are in good. Now we can go ahead and put our battery in. The battery's pretty simple. Just put the battery on like this and then reconnect it. And you gotta be careful with the battery because it seems like these wires in here are actually really easy to just kind of tug and rip. And then you're gonna need a new battery. So this is all set up and we can go ahead and put the front cover on now. So let's put that to the side for now. And this is actually the back cover. So let's go ahead and do this. And grab your micro USB port right here. And we can go ahead and slide this back into position. And as you can see on the front here, it's displaying it's all the way through. And there will be two screws, smaller screws. And these ones might be a little bit nicer on the top because they don't have any dead skin on them. So you might be able to tell right away just by looking at them. These ones you can kind of have trouble with. There we go. Screw it in. Grab the other one. Perfect. So I have that in. Let's go ahead and make sure our light bar is in. So line it up. And just snap it in. It's kind of easier if you press the front part down first and then move downwards and snap it in. Just flip it over, make sure it's flat on the outside. I gotta clean this up a little bit. I can see some paint on there. Now that you have the light bar cover on, go ahead and take this clear piece and place it back over on here. And make sure the two foam pads are sticking on the back of the controller. And this is pressed against the light bar. And then I already have this kind of in place, but it'll look like this. So this piece will have the triangle end kind of facing down, and the upper end will be towards the light bar, if that makes any sense. So let's go ahead and put that back in position, and then take our little black cover and put that over the white part. And then let's go ahead and screw this in. I already have the screws on here, so it helps. Okay, so that is screwed down and it's kind of firm here. Good. And then we're going to have our little connector here just on the side. Let's go ahead and take the front part and the back part and put those together. And let's go ahead and connect this first. And this will go in this corresponding slot right here. And be careful with this over time. Mine is actually damaged right now just because I take it off and on so much and I have to reconnect it. So it's connected now. So try to take that out as little as you can, otherwise you will damage it over time. And then let's go ahead and put the back plate back on. And this can get a little tricky. There's little things right here that pop up. Just be aware of those. And then over our face buttons right here, our L2 and R2 buttons, we're going to want to put the cover in between those right away. So it's kind of looking like this. And then be aware of this on the back here. It's going to pop up. We're going to want to lift the cover up and over those cylinders that are rising up. All right. And from here, just feel it out. Make sure everything is firmly together here on each side. Press down on it. And then let's go ahead and put those 4 screws back in. Alright, so just make sure everything is lining up well. And then go ahead and hit the power button, power on your controller. And as you can see, my light bar is on, it's working. My controller is connected. If you have any kind of thumbsticks covers, go ahead and put those back on right now. And that is how you completely reassemble your PlayStation 4 controller. If this video helped you out, make sure to leave it a like and subscribe to my channel down below. And check out some of the other videos coming up next on YourSixStudios.